Those of you recently joining us at Wild and Free Interior Alaska might be wondering what inspired us to start building an off-grid remote cabin. So we've been in Alaska now just over 6 years with everything that there is to offer here, including the purchasing of snow machines and ATVs and power wheels and bikes and dirt bikes to get our kids prepared for the future adventures. So we started small with this Arctic cat, kitty cat, and this is what our boys learned on. Our youngest right there is just about 20 months old, and our oldest, who you saw before, was 4 years old at the time. So watch us as the seasons change and the kids grow and their skills develop to get ready for the big adventure. If you haven't had the chance to see some of our other videos, we are in the process of building an off-grid remote cabin in interior Alaska. It's 100 miles from our residence, and it is another 6 miles off the trail system, which is why knowing how to drive a snow machine or an ATV is such an important skill to teach our children at a young age to develop them so they can do it. While we got here in September and immediately it snowed and we purchased snow machines right away, that's not the only way to get out to our future cabin. And so our boys were young and we started them on power wheels. And this Jeep was a foundation for our children learning how to steer, maneuver around objects, and slow down. And of course, you see here the little guy, and they're just getting started. And as our youngest started to grow more and more, we got him his own little Power Wheels ATV so that he can start getting familiar with that and then hopefully move up to a real ATV someday. And although he's a little small and steering was hard, he can do it. Going on adventures and hiking is also another really good key, because if something breaks down, we need to be able to figure out how to get back out to the road. So that's hiking and starting them young. Just want to show you Alaska has so much beauty to offer and ways to just spend time together as a family. Our boys definitely have learned how to make the best of every situation, not having a lot of toys. They play so well together. They're experiencing so many amazing things in Alaska together.
Here, run.
Help.
Help?
Yeah.
What do you need help with?
This.
Going that way?
Yeah.
Okay, ready, set. What do you say?
Go.
Go! Go, buddy, go!
So while we made sure that the boys had something, we obviously needed something as well. So we purchased our first ATV. It's a Honda because we wouldn't consider anything else. It's hands down amazing. And of course, this guy had to just show off all of his skills. And it has come in handy with making it over the mountains, I'll be honest. And it's been a workhorse for us with building the cabin. Almost every day is spent together having amazing family time and just letting these boys experience the great outdoors. So much so that we had to make sure that our oldest was going to be able to figure out how to get himself out of a predicament where he might be stuck. And with Jeeps, naturally so, which is why we don't own one, that was bound to happen. But he definitely put his skills to the test and he figured it out. But he did want to make sure that he practiced it a few different times so that he really nailed his skills. from Power Wheels, it went to a 120cc Polaris ATV. And this kid just hit the ground running with it, and he was ready to do motocross. So that's exactly what we did to prepare him to navigate up and down our mountainous terrain in Alaska. And this was a great skill builder, and he had so much fun with it. He was only 5 years old here and was just executing this racetrack so amazing. But that's not all, folks. Then we got a dirt bike, and we didn't have training wheels yet, so Dad acted as the training wheels to help keep him stable as he was learning how to accelerate using the throttle so that we could just continue to develop their skills and have an amazing time here. Taking adventures as a family to explore everything that Alaska has to offer is super important, and just enjoying the small moments and finding peace and joy together. Just doing the simple things is what our goal is all about, raising these boys here and teaching them how to enjoy every moment together. As seasons change once again, coming out of summer and fall into winter, which usually lasts about 8 months in Alaska, it starts in the beginning of September, all the way through May, usually. So our boys have grown a little bit more, and so their machines also grew. Now they have Skidoo 120s, and each of them are learning how to operate larger machines, shift their weight, maneuver around obstacles so we can get up and down those mountains together. But wait, there's more. There's always more skills to be teaching our boys as they grow. And that's, most importantly, gun safety. We always need weapons with us when we are out and about. It's a really important skill that we all need to be familiar with. Bears are a real threat here, among wolves. There's just so much wildlife, so it's very important. As you see, seasons have come and gone again. Our oldest drove out to his first public use cabin on a snow machine in that last clip, and now he's getting better on a dirt bike. It took a little while until we started discovering what public use cabins were like and what that lifestyle was about, but at that moment we knew that's exactly what we wanted to do, was create something similar to that, being remote, off-grid, in the middle of nowhere, living off of the land, being self-sufficient and sustainable, and teaching our boys every skill possible so that they too can live that lifestyle if they would like to or if they ever need to. And so we started visiting more and more cabins to get familiar with it and see if that's what we really wanted to do. And it was. You've seen the snow machines that the boys now have, and our snow machines have changed a lot, and we've had so many learning experiences in the valley and broken down machines, and this was a great moment. Although there is a lot of work involved constantly learning these skills, we also do manage to have a lot of fun around us all the time. And taking a blow-up unicorn by snow machine through our neighborhood was definitely one of those moments. Now that our youngest is 3.5 at this point, it's his turn to learn. We also role model for them and teach them everything that they need to know by demonstrating first and reminding them the importance of safety. As they continue to grow, another season comes and goes, and now they are so independent that the littlest one can follow Daddy out to the trails and begin riding. And as you can see, our snow machines changed again. We don't have them quite right, not all of them, for our adventure to our own cabin just yet. Not only are snow machines and ATVs and walking and hiking another great mode of transportation to get out to our cabin, but knowing how to cross-country ski is as well. So that's another skill we are working on developing with our boys, and we've got a long ways to go, but it will be worth it in the end. Being comfortable on the water, which this is just a tiny little creek, is really important because we do have one at the base of where our property is, and you never know if that's how we need to get back out to the road system because they do all connect. And then also teaching the kids how to maneuver a proper river crossing. So our little guy is 4 here, and he was learning this skill. It's really helpful that his dad was an instructor for the cold weather and mountaineering program here that the Army had to offer. And so he had some skills to share with him, and he did an excellent job. And mind you, that was extremely cold water, even though it is early summer, it's still very cold. But he did it like a champ, and he was so proud of himself, and we were so proud of him. Sometimes your adventures do not go as planned, so you always need to have a plan B in place because things might not work out, and that's why it's important to share all of these skills with our boys as they grow. And this came in really handy because we overcame that. This is an example of how the terrain that we go over is not very nice. These are very rough bumps, and that's kind of what it's like to travel out to our property, even though this is not exactly there, it's in the same area. Another fun learning experience that we enjoy in the winter is teaching our kids a little bit of science with some of our friends. Enjoy! Yes, Alaska has so much to offer, including the Northern Lights, also known as Aurora Borealis, and it's an incredible sight. But that's not all about Alaska. Dog sled teams and mushing is a huge part of Alaska and another mode of transportation, and while my dogs don't actually mush like that, we have used them to transport our gear out to the cabins that we have visited.
Go! Crushing cans and
Lighting fire.
As our kids continue to grow, so do their skills. This summer, our little guy was 6 and our oldest was 9, and they have made it up to the top of this gravel pit, and that was a huge success for them. And they just continue to overcome some of their fears and just make leaps and bounds for the next part of our journey.
What you got?
A blueberry. It's so cool.
And currently, we are working on our archery skills as these kids age.